Olusegun Obasanjo.
Nigeria transformed into a democratic dispensation in May 1999 after being ruled by the military governments for over 30 years. The presidential elections, which was won by President Olusegun Obasanjo, was held in February 1999. However, the 1999 elections were the first set of elections since the 1984 military coup. It is worthy to note that from this era, Nigeria successfully held 5 successive transitions without major hitches of military interference. Elections, which started since 1959 with different registered political parties, is a method of electing leaders into office where the citizens have rights to vote and be voted for. Elections enable citizens to express concerns in matters that affect their daily lives, as well as provide governments with the legitimate authority to govern the people. Therefore, it is when elections are credible that they can help to promote virile democracy, adequate security, and human rights.
Yeah.
Now, it was somebody that cooperated with us so that you can be here today. So you have to cooperate and let the cash come out.
Unfortunately, sir, I can't be found cooperating on such endeavors. It is called corruption. As you channel state money to finance your own campaign, public funds entrusted to our ministry, never.
Yes, what is your problem now? We are not asking you to bring all the money for your ministry. That is not what we are saying. We are only asking for a fraction of it, and then you can cover it and say it is for one project. Nobody will know. And before you say Jack, we are back for second time and cover up.
Whether it is whole or part, public funds are not for campaigns. That is corruption.
But before you were born, we have been doing this thing now. I've been using your father's money.
I say capital no. You may have been doing it before I was born. That doesn't make it right, and I will not support it. If you don't leave my office now, I will call EFCC for you.
Okay. I will leave. Don't call EFCC, please. Don't call. I will.
Get out! I'm saying no to using public funds for campaigns. I'm saying no to every form of corruption during elections.
Say no to using public funds for campaign corruption. For a better Nigeria, support free and fair elections.
It is the desire of the citizens to elect transparent and trustworthy leaders and representatives into power. But oftentimes, elections in Nigeria are not free and fair. When elections are subjected to vote buying, rigging, and other fraudulent acts, such elections have the tendency to aggravate political instability, violence, and widespread insecurity.
They bought our votes. Can't you see? They just want our votes. They just want our votes.
Well, history of election in Nigeria largely has been characterized by large-scale rigging, violence, manipulation of results, and other vices, to the extent that the populace, particularly the electorate, seems to have lost confidence in the electoral system. That is why you continue to witness apathy over the years, to the extent that you recall that the last election we had about 34-point-something% of the eligible voters voting for who the president of Nigeria is. So that shows you the kind of apathy we have as a result of loss of confidence in the place. The belief of an average Nigerian is that a voter is that my vote will not count. So why do I need to go and bother myself? So that's what we've been witnessing over the years in Nigeria.
Like late Chinua Achebe said, we shouldn't assume that the colonial masters, for want of better expression to describe the madness of the Europeans in Africa, they did not teach us democracy. Yes, they do the rituals of certain election of people. But democracy is not just about the ballots. Democracy, yes, the ballot is significant, is an important aspect of democracy. But democracy is not just about the ballot. Even without the ballot, people's consent can still be aggregated, to make leadership emerge. What is important is the accountability of the leadership, to the citizens. How much say the citizens have in their own affairs, and of course the distribution of scarce resources. These are the elements of democracy that the white man did not. The white man was very autocratic. He was not democratic while he was here. And of course, unfortunately, the political elites that inherited the white man's seat followed through in being autocratic and not being accountable.
Look at you, couldn't do anything. Only you.
It is a known fact that effective governance, virile democratic institutions and citizens' rights are achieved in a democratic system only when undue interferences are avoided. In any electoral process where money and power influence the choices of electorates, the essence of constitutional rights of citizens to freely exercise their freedom to choose wisely, as well as equality in democratic society, may be lost.
It is a challenge to this country that the political system must be sanitized. If you have irresponsible politicians, you are going to throw up irresponsible leaders within that system.
What needs reform is not so much the electoral process as our own attitudes. We need to reform ourselves. We need to be determined to correct ourselves.
Truth must be told. Our electoral system failed us, has been failing us, but the failure of 2007 is the worst failure.
About 70% conservatively of the electorate are illiterate. In fact, beyond those 70%, from the 30% remaining, even 20% of those 30%, I can tell you to a large extent, are uninformed. They can be elite, they can be literate, but they are uninformed about what's going on. So you ultimately have about 10% of the people who actually know the reason why they are voting and who they are voting for at the end.
I'm talking to you precisely. You day school office or the
I am happy that I called you all and you came.
Thank you, sir.
And you know that I did not just call for no reason because I am a person with a purpose.
Yes, tell us.
Election is here again and it is time for you to make money. See, I have money for you. You only have to do a small thing for us and you'll be rewarded heavily.
Hey, even if there's no vote, you don't enter.
Thank you. I know you will support me. I know you are with me. Share the money, share the money.
Hey.
Thank you, Oga. But please, which money is this? What exactly do we have to do for you?
Yes, tell us.
Okay. You know what? I want you to show them this money at the polling unit so that they know they are getting paid once they press their fingers for us.
You want us to pay people at the polling station?
Correct.
For you?
Correct. Yes,
well,
correct.
That is vote buying, care.
Don't call it that. It is just the game. And you know it is what the bird eats that it flies with.
It is just the game, eh? Don't you know that vote buying is wrong in every way? What if you get caught? Oga, sorry, I know do. I say no to vote buying and every form of corruption during election. And if you continue with this rubbish, we will inform the police. My people, what do you say?
Hey, we say no to vote buying. We say no to every form of election corruption. We want a free, fair, and credible election. No!
Don't sell your future. Say no to vote buying.
Say no shishi for bribe. Don't sell your vote.
They just burnt our votes. They just burnt our votes. They burnt our votes. Can't you see? They just burnt our votes. They just burnt.
Get him.
Nigeria's democracy has been under threat due to the growing trend of vote buying and selling in elections.
Thank you very much for defying the weather.
Competence and good character are no longer parameters for assessing electoral candidates, as cash inducements and other forms of bribery and corruption have taken the center stage to determine the choice of candidates of parties to vote for.
Military interregnum in Nigeria have always done worse atrocities than they accused the civilian regime that they booted out. And then came 1999, and we had semblance of voting to elect leaders, and we saw how very, very distorted and lacking in credibility the electoral process was in 1998, in 2003.
Consequently, vote buying and election rigging triggers corruption in public offices, as those who hold public mandates often seek corrupt means to amass wealth for themselves towards future election spending. In Nigeria, vote buying did not originate from the present administration, but has existed since 1960. What has changed is the mode of buying votes. Between 1960 to 1963, vote buying was accomplished by distributing food items and other materials to meet the needs of the poor masses. With the oil boom in 1979, the form of vote buying changed as money politics was put in effect. By the end of the Third Republic, money politics became fully entrenched.
Ibrahim Babangida and Mohamed Abacha, life was really tough. Of course, starting from the Buhari Diagbon administration, but we deliberately do not focus on them because they stayed for a very short time. They had some good interventionist programs. They did a lot of work on public accountability. They were short-lived, so we wouldn't know whether they would have refused to go or if they would have planned a short transition. But we saw Ibrahim Babangida stayed for 8 years. We saw the clamp down on the academia, on intellectual freedom. We saw an era where even the media was also clamped down. And he was playing, like he said, he was playing Maradona with transition, which became obvious that he wasn't willing to go until his khaki fellows eased him out after the very infamous cancellation of that historic election of June 12, 1993 that threw up the late Basharu MKO Abiola. So it was difficult when the university were young activists during Ibrahim Babangida days. There was no freedom anywhere. The media did not have the measure of, in quote, freedom that they have now. Things were pretty difficult. Many of those who are on the stage now misruling the country in one position or the other, many of them were exiled or they were kowtowing to the ills of the military, the khaki people. Under Abacha was no different. Perhaps it was even much worse because political killings thrived under him. Freedom of the media, of the press was totally off. Universities were infiltrated. All unions were infiltrated. You either follow the dictates of the regime or you excuse yourself from the scene, or people just generally disappeared.
The Bureau of Statistics gave us data to say that over 133 million Nigerians are poor. That's assuming that we have 180. Let's even assume that that figure is correct. 133 from 180 million Nigeria. That implies that less than 50 million Nigeria could be said to be comfortable in the country. But the truth of the matter is that the integrity of that data itself is challenged. So for me, if you ask me ordinarily, I will tell you that if they say 133, then take it to minimum 160 to 170. Nigerians are below poverty level. So what does that translate to? What it implies is that these hungry people cannot reason again. So any small change you give them, they forget their reasoning faculty. They go and vote for the person that gives them or that pretend to be generous toward them.
Yeah, I want to vote for the highest bidder. If they like, they can promise to bring heaven and earth. I won't believe them until they'll bring money.
I think I agree with you. These people know who will win already. I will also just look for the highest bidder and know that I have collected my share from the national cake.
Don't let anyone buy you out. Don't vote because of money. Vote because you support the candidates and you trust that they will fulfill their campaign promises.
You really think it's your votes that bring these people in? You have been fooled.
Yes. I believe my votes and your votes are the ones that bring the candidates in. If not, why do they bother to come and campaign to us? Look at how bad our road is. Yet, these politicians come to campaign to us. If our vote doesn't matter, they won't keep coming.
You have a good point there. All of them have come here, including their governorship candidates. But is that not just for show? So that they can see photos for posters and newspapers?
So who is watching the news and reading the newspapers? Is it not you and I?
You have a point though.
They need also.
Do you used to pay for what you don't need?
No, never.
So you see, why are the politicians offering to pay you so you can vote for them? Why are they asking that you take a photo that you voted for them so they can pay you?
Because my vote counts. Everybody, please don't sell your vote. It counts. Vote for the candidate that speaks your mind.
The one you see as sincere and fit to be your leader.
Your vote counts.
If it doesn't count, they won't try to buy it.
Don't sell your vote. Don't be a part of election corruption.
Your vote counts. Don't sell it. If it doesn't count, they won't offer you money. Vote wisely. Avoid all forms of corruption in election process.
The 1993 elections, which was adjudged the freest and fairest elections held in Nigeria, was not devoid of vote buying. The menace of vote buying and corruption in the electoral process, inclusive of rigging, has worsened over the years. Cases of vote buying was also recorded in the Fourth Republic between 2003 to 2007. In the 2019 general elections, reports show that elections were associated with vote buying and massive rigging, characterized by violence and snatching of ballot boxes.
Good for him, they have burnt him.
Due to the growing trend of corruption in Nigeria's electoral system and the concern for the need to deepen democracy, the rule of law and sustainable development, the Human and Environmental Development Agenda HIDA Resource Center organized an anti-corruption situation room in 2019.
That is acronym for Human and Environment Development Agenda. We are a Lagos-based national non-governmental organization. Our major area of focus is good governance, public accountability, economic justice, environmental justice, and electoral reforms.
Corpus, how are you?
We are doing fine, sir. How are you too, sir?
I'm fine, as you can see. We just came back from campaigning in the villages across the river, you see, and they really love us.
That's really good for you. I wish you all the best.
Wait now, don't go yet. We even saw some of your people on the campaign trail and we took care of them.
Wow, good for you.
And we will take care of you too. You know you are serving your fatherland and you will be playing a key role in the election process. So we can take care of you so you can help us. And when we enter, we will still take more care of you. You know what I mean, eh?
I don't know what you mean, Oga.
Okay. Just say that the machine is not working so we can use manual process. Then we can work the result in our favor. And we may not even need to do it because the people like us already. But this is just a contingency plan in case our opponents want to play smart. You know what I mean?
You want to pay us to manipulate results for you?
No big deal there now. You know we'll take care of you very well.
No, sir. We are not interested. Nigeria will take care of us.
We say no to inducement to manipulate the election process and results.
We say no to every form of corruption during elections.
A free and fair election will make a better Nigeria that can take care of its people. Say no to inducement and bribery to manipulate elections.
The Anti-Corruption Situation Room, which was targeted at charting a roadmap to tackle the menace of vote buying and other electoral malpractices, was held in collaboration with the civil society groups, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC), National Orientation Agency (NOA), Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC), National Human Rights Commission (NHRC), the Nigeria Police, the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC), media organizations, and other reputable establishments.
Our mandate is deliberately focused on public accountability and also electoral reforms and issues of environment, justice, economic justice, because these are the real pillars of good society. Without public accountability, quality of life will really be tough for people, and we're seeing that all across Nigeria. So while we advocate for public accountability, while we wage war against corruption, we're also not. We're also very cognizant of the fact that the biggest solution to all of the malaise of society is that we should have free and fair electoral system that produce credible people, and it produce credible people because there is accountability to the electorate. So when our elections are free and fair, those whom it throws up will understand that the people truly have the power, to renew their mandate or to even snatch it before time. So all of our admonition and advocacy and investigative work will come to null if the electoral process fails to live up to its bidding.
You're welcome to our station. Thank you for coming.
I should be thanking you for having me. You have found time to receive me out of your very busy schedule. Thank you. And that is why I won't take too much of your time.
Okay, go on.
You see, the election is upon us already. I will need your help.
We're always at your service. Thank you for trusting us.
Yes, we trust you and will take good care of you, more than whatever any others can do.
Thank you. But what exactly do you want? I don't understand you.
Oga DPO, we will take care of you if you look away. Our opponents may have come here ahead, but we give you 5 times whatever they offer. You know our party must win. It is do or die. What do you say?
I don't understand you. Are you attempting to bribe officers of the law in order to manipulate election for you?
Oga DPO, don't call it bribe. If you call it that, it will look somehow. You just want to help us by looking away, and we will take care of you.
Mr. Politician, I won't look away. I want a free and fair election, and I will play my role efficiently. But as for you, if you don't leave my office now, you will be in jail before election day. Leave my office, corrupt politician.
Sorry, Oga. Please don't be angry.
I say no to any form of corruption in the electoral process.
Make Nigeria better. Say no to any form of corruption during election.
Yet to come on election fraud in Nigeria.
Long way at attempting to solve the issue or problems of voter apathy in the state, because we have received complaints.
Financial institutions to de-emphasize as much as possible the role of inducement, because it's not just about money. We have some politicians that
bring in people, because one major thing that the expansion does is that there is a distance in the new polling unit addresses that you have. Some people have been moved to long distance polling units.